Beautiful. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sandra Bichl, and I will be going through the global job market. In other words, I want to answer the question, is it a candidate or employer's market, looking at the data of January 2023. For those who don't know Career Angels, we're a career consulting boutique, meaning that we help both candidates and companies in, maneuvering the job market. So let's have a look at our data. Market signals is what we call tracking data that indicates how the job market is doing. We look at unemployment rates and, for example, the number of published job ads on LinkedIn. And we want to see how macroeconomic changes actually influence the job market. So far, we have gathered almost 12,000 data points, received over 500 insights from executives, HR directors, and executive search consultants. We have published 92 monthly reports, 556 daily updates, 13 special reports, and we have been tracking 80 countries around the world for 33 months. You can find all of our information and data on SlideShare and on our showcase page on LinkedIn called Market Signals. I do recommend to click follow for daily updates there. Now, why would it make sense to understand and track the supply of and demand for candidates? From an employer's perspective, it's good to know whether there's more demand for candidates, which means do you need to be generous or less generous with salaries and benefit packages, etc. Or if there's not that much demand for candidates, maybe the post and pray approach works, meaning post a job ad and pray for candidates, for qualified candidates to reply. From a candidate's perspective, understanding that dynamic of supply and demand can perfectly translate into how much effort you will have to put into the job search and how much time the job search itself might take. So we are streaming today on 3 platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, which means that this can be interactive. Please ask questions, comment, engage, and share. At any point, we will have a dedicated Q&A session, but if during this live segment you do have questions right away, don't wait until the end. What I will be covering today is the global reach, European detail, global perspective in an annual comparison. We'll do a detailed view into Germany, the UK, and US, then the DACH region. And last but not least, we'll look at how the job markets in Belgium, Poland, and Italy are doing. And in between, I'll be adding tips. So let's have a look at the global reach. This is what you see here is the changes in number of job ads on LinkedIn across Europe, Africa, and the Americas for January 2023. In detail, what does that mean? In Africa, 0.93% more job ads. In Americas, it's minus 0.02%. And in Europe, it's almost plus 11%. So good news for those on the European job market. Zooming in, what you see right here is an overview since week 1 of 2021. And the European job market has added another 300,000 job ads only in the month of January, which is good news. In detail, what does that mean? Let's see, France plus 37% more job ads, so another 200,000 job ads. Spain another 15,000, meaning and plus 19%. Sweden plus 12,000, which means almost plus 14%. Switzerland plus 8.87%, another almost 6,500. Italy, another 10.6 thousand job ads, which means plus 8.36%. So overall, 35 out of 38 countries see an increase in demand for candidates. Only 3 countries, Ireland, Iceland, and Malta, saw in January a small decline. So if you're actively looking for a job, I recommend you join the Hidden Job Market group, which is a group on LinkedIn that we run and manage for experienced managers and executives. For those who enjoy working remotely, we have a dedicated remote edition for executives that you will also find in the group once you join. Now, the global perspective, overall, we saw there is an improvement in Europe, not that much in the Americas and Africa, but how does it compare to same time last year? Same time last year, for Europe, week 5 of 2023 is doing better than week 5 of 2022 by 0.05%. The top 20 economies across the world, plus 5.64%. Good news. Americas, minus 8.14%. In Americas, we track 22 countries. Africa is doing slightly better than last year, plus 1.93%. When looking same time last year for US, UK, and Germany, we see that those three countries, those three markets are worse off than a year before. In detail for January, in the US, minus 0.3% in demand for Canada. It's not drastic. For the UK, although we just saw that in comparison to last year, it's worse, but January has seen an increase in demand for candidates, plus 27.26%, which is good. Germany, plus 0.7%. Bi-weekly changes, so where we see a trend for Germany, negative trend for the US, negative trend for the UK, bi-monthly changes, plus 7.53%. So again, what does that mean for an employer's perspective? Looking at the data will tell you, is it enough to simply post a job ad and attract the right candidates? Do you have to do active sourcing? Do you have to invest in collaborating with a recruitment agency? Or maybe it does make sense, and usually it does anyway, to have good employer branding that is dedicated to your candidate personas. From a candidate perspective, the tougher the job market you are in, the more precise you have to be in setting your career and job search goal, the better you have to position yourself. You need to have 2 CVs, one for humans, one for applicant tracking systems. You need to have a LinkedIn profile that is prepared not only for the humans who view the profile, but also for the LinkedIn algorithm. And you need to generate interest through all 4 job search channels on the job market. Again, if you're in a job market that is less competitive, you can, let's say, dial it down a little bit with your effort. If you want to know what I meant with CV for humans versus CV for applicant tracking system, you can download our CV ATS guide that will walk you through why it is that you need a second CV and how to prepare one. If you're not that much into reading, you can watch a video where we explain how to do that. Or you can, well, not or, but once you have done that, you can request a free CV ATS report to understand whether your CV is ready for applying to job ads online that go through applicant tracking systems. If you'd like to discuss your current job search or career plans, you can also get in touch with us to book a free and confidential career consultation. Now, again, as I've said, we're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, which means if you'd like to ask questions, I'll soon start wrapping up, and make sure you post your questions before I wrap up. But we still have some data to cover. In the DACH region, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, January 2023. Germany plus 0.7%, Austria plus 11.99%, Switzerland plus 8.87%. In other words, much better start into 2023. It's, well, positive signs. Those job markets had been hit quite immensely in the last month. So it slowly starts to be easier to be a candidate in those markets. Bi-weekly changes, Austria's on the plus side, plus 5.83%, but Germany and Switzerland, bi-monthly perspective, still see a downward trend. Germany minus 2.91%, Switzerland minus 10.28%. But January sees the upward trend. Now let's have a look at Belgium, Italy, and Poland, where a lot of our audience members are joining from. Belgium plus 5.32%, Italy plus 7.71%, Poland plus 5.84%. So as a candidate, again, there is increased demand for candidates. So if you have any questions at this point, please feel free to post them. I'm more than happy to answer all of them. While you post them, a couple of links to resources. If you are into what we do, if you're a peer, career and job search coach or advisor, feel free to join our group that we have on LinkedIn, where we share our know-how. We also have a dedicated Udemy course, if you're fully into DIY, where we explain every step of the job search process, and it's backed by research. And we have a YouTube channel that you can check for updated videos and instructions. If you think our know-how and tips are of value, you can thank us by following our content or buying us a virtual coffee. We've put together a list of what's important to us. The way you have as a candidate to beat algorithms, we also have our algorithms to beat. Okay, I see there are no more questions. So the only thing left for me to say is thank you very much for joining and watching today, and have a lovely weekend.